For more on the retreat, let's bring in CTV News chief political correspondent Vassy Kapelos, who is in Charlottetown today. Vassy, always good to see you. Childcare, big announcement on the agenda today for the Liberals ahead of this retreat. What can we expect here?
Yeah, I think kicking off this retreat, the Prime Minister this morning, or ahead of the retreat, as you said, using the time to set up what I think, can surely anticipate will be the theme of the meetings here, and that is around the issue of affordability. You and I know, everybody watching knows, there is probably nothing quite higher top of mind, close to the top of mind, than cost of living and the issues and the struggles with affordability in this country, particularly around housing. Definitely the fires and climate as well. But when it comes to sort of what the political context, the political significance of major issues for Canadians, cost of living is it, affordability is it, housing is it, and certainly that is what I'm anticipating over the next few days here. The meetings are really centered on putting forth an agenda around the issue of housing, around the issue of affordability that kind of freshens up the Liberals and this government in the minds of voters who have grown. Poll after poll after poll is showing us over this summer quite tired of what the Liberals in this area in particular have put forward. And so their task is to come up with a policy agenda or a policy direction that signals something other than what the polls have been showing us over the past number of months. Here's the Prime Minister with a little bit on that.
We, since 2017, actually since 2015, have been making significant investments in infrastructure, including the National Housing Strategy in 2017, including the Rapid Housing Initiative that is now on its third phase that was developed through the COVID years, including the Housing Accelerator Program with municipalities, $4 billion. Housing is a responsibility for everyone to work together on. The federal government, provincial governments, municipal governments, nonprofits, and the public sector as well, in terms of investing to make sure we're creating the opportunities for families to get homes, to contribute, to build the future and the communities they want.
Here's what you don't hear in that answer, though. Yes, the Liberals and this government have done a number of things on the issue of affordability. You heard the Canada Child Benefit there, the childcare announcements, as well as the childcare program that's reduced fees for Canadians right across the country. But the issue of cost of living, and in particular housing, which so many people across this country are struggling with right now, this government is not really resonating on. I referenced those polls. We have seen gaps as wide as 10 points now between the Conservatives and the Liberals. The Conservatives, particularly the leader, Pierre Poilievre, has talked a ton throughout his leadership bid and after about the frustrations Canadians are feeling. He is, often being challenged on a lack of policy being put forth, but he's the opposition. The government right now, is the one who has to come up with a fix if it's at all possible. You heard a bit of a reference there from the Prime Minister to multiple levels of jurisdiction around the issue of housing. Again, the political question is whether or not that kind of talk will resonate with voters or whether you need to put more on the table.
The other thing, Vassy, I want to ask you about, we should point out to our viewers as well, Pierre Poilievre will be speaking at 12:30 Eastern. We're going to bring that to our viewers live here on News Channel. He will be talking about housing, so we're going to hear a lot more from him. But the Prime Minister, obviously front and center, talking about the wildfires in Western Canada, and he had some pretty harsh words for Meta, the company that, of course, owns Facebook and Instagram, as it relates to news being shared, or in this case, not being shared by the tech giant.
Yeah, we're pretty familiar right now with the back and forth between the government. It involves what was known as C-18, Bill C-18, it's now law, and companies like Google and, in this case, Meta. In the last number of days, the government has kind of admonished Meta for not allowing or not kind of ceding that block that it had in place to Canadian news because of the wildfires. Meta we've reached out to them for comment, but I've read elsewhere, has kind of said, no, we're not going to do that. This is in response to the legislation that you passed. This is an interesting kind of battle for a number of reasons. Look, there's a very real issue at the heart of all of this, and that is, of course, the wildfires in this country right now and the damage that's being inflicted on people and homes. But this is also, make no mistake, at least where those social media giants are concerned, a political issue for the government as well, right? They have blocked news on their sites, on their platforms. Google intends to do the same when all of the law has been implemented. And for some reason, this is something that the Prime Minister, I think this is the second time I've seen him bring it up without even being asked, right? So clearly it is an issue of political significance to this government. How it ends up playing out, though, remains to be seen. I think that the government is gaining some sympathy among Canadians who are looking for that information right now. They're saying, hey, why can't I find out what's happening from my news organizations on this platform? Facebook says, well, the government can still post their stuff on our platform, or Meta says you can get official information, you can mark yourself as safe. So I do feel there is a sort of, they're gaining some ground when it comes to sympathy among Canadians, but at the same time, this is a politically fraught issue for them too, you know, passing this legislation, knowing the kind of backlash that could happen from those companies. It doesn't seem to have died down, and certainly Meta and Google don't seem to be backing off from their position either.
Vassy Kapelos, our chief political correspondent here at CTV News in Charlottetown. The Liberals holding a retreat, 3 days. Thanks for this, Vassy. We'll talk again.